What's good, YouTube? It's JJ Uncut back with another video. On this video, I'm gonna be telling you how you've been using cannabis wrong. Okay? Now I'm gonna tell you how to use cannabis the right way, and I'm gonna have real receipts. Okay? Now, back then in China, in the ancient times, and even India, they used to use cannabis to connect with the divine. Now people probably just use it just to get high and just to party, all right, or just to listen to low vibrational music. No, no, no. You don't want to do that. You want to calm yourself down before you even prepare the plant. All right, you want to calm yourself down. You want to listen to meditation music. You want to cleanse your soul, okay? Because when you high, it's only boosting what you already were. So if you already had a low vibration, your vibration is going to get lower. And if you was at a high vibration last night, I was feeling good, bro. I was feeling so good, and I ain't hit the wood in a while. And I thought the wood low-key was gonna take my vibration down. But I tested it. I'm like, man, they say when you high vibrational, then you hit the wood, you only gonna get better. The world gonna talk to you. You feel me? And what did the world do? The world was talking to me. All right. So that's how you use cannabis the right way. All right. And yes, cannabis was always sacred, but in this society, it just got turned into a use of everyday, just high. All right. And I'm not gonna lie. Even when I first started getting into cannabis, I didn't know this either. All right. I had to do my research, and I'm doing this research just for y'all. So let's get into it. I'm gonna tell y'all different spiritual things you could do before you can smoke, for you can get the full experience of it, for you can get the full experience of cannabis, and you can reach a new reality, and you can experience how you was supposed to experience cannabis. So let's get into it. All right, the first thing you want to do is treat weed like a tool for awakening. Don't just treat it like it's an everyday high, okay? I used to do it too, but like I said, I'm giving this to y'all for y'all can change, okay? So the next time you roll up, ask yourself, where am I trying to awaken in me? Where am I trying to get better at? Ask, communicate with yourself, because this what it's for, to connect with the divine, okay? Set an intention before you even touch the cannabis. What do you want to do? Do you want to get into inner healing? Do you want to heal yourself? Do you want some clarity? Ask yourself, what do you want? It will give it to you. Now, something else you want to do before you smoke is make sure you don't overly eat. Don't overly eat. And if you fast, fast or eat light, okay? Because if you overly eat spiritually, this will block all your downloads, and you will have weak downloads. You probably won't have none because you overate. All right. The less you eat, the lighter you will feel, the clearer your downloads will be. Okay. And you might have a vision because you added on cannabis. The third thing you want to do to tap into yourself spiritually while you're using cannabis is make sure that your room is clean, bro. Don't have no dirty room while you're using cannabis, because, like I said, this is all a practice. People used to use this literally to tap into themselves during rituals, okay? Cannabis was used during rituals, okay? So before they did this, I know that wherever they was at, if they was in a room, it was clean, okay? It wasn't just messed up. If they was somewhere in the middle of a temple, the motherfucker was clean and it was put together, okay? If they was somewhere on the island, I'm guessing that it was set up a certain way, okay? So before you smoke cannabis, bro, just get a sage, get a candle, bro. Light up your candles, light up your sage, clean up your room, clean up your living room, wherever you at. Clean up that area so you won't have no distractions while you're using the cannabis. While you won't have no random headaches. You always ask yourself, why do I got headaches? Why do I feel like I always gotta quit cannabis? Why do I always feel like desire is against me? Because you're against desire, okay? Don't be against desire and it won't be against you, okay? Alright. The fourth thing you should do before using cannabis to tap in with yourself spiritually, this is something that I do personally, is I meditate before I even light a wood, okay? Before I even smoke, I meditate first, for the high won't control me. I'm already deep in meditation, okay? Then it's like an add-on. Then it's like I can really feel it coming in, okay? You just don't want to just meditate, say, oh yeah, I want to smoke, so I'm going to add on the meditation. And you really don't even feel anything, or it's not how it's supposed to be. It's not as strong as it could be, okay? What you want to do is actually calm yourself down, because when you do meditate without cannabis one day, you don't want to be really, you don't want to rely on the cannabis to get into the meditation state. So before I even light up the cannabis, I'm already meditating for at least 10 to 20 minutes. I'm already in my own zone, okay? For even 30, 40, I'm not really taking time. Whenever I feel like the time is right, that's when I'll light up a wood and, okay, now it's time to chill out. Not chill out, but now it's time to get more better downloads, chill out, calm down, take deep breaths, all right? You get me? And I'm also gonna give you some things to do during a conscious smoke session, so listen up. Now, the first thing you wanna do is close your eyes and let the plant guide you, okay? You wanna let the plant guide you inward, not outward, okay? You want the plant to guide you, all right? And when I say inward, it's gonna be eternally. It's not gonna be external. It's gonna be eternally, all right? Now, it's gonna tap in with the eternal side of you. When you close your eyes, okay, this is when you're gonna start getting visions, okay? This is when you're gonna feel a different type of high. So make sure that you actually close your eyes and make sure that you're doing breath work. The second thing you want to do during a conscious smoke session is listen to vibrational music. You want to avoid music that keeps you in survival mode at this time because, like I said, cannabis is very strong, all right? So you don't want to be listening to low vibrational music that will keep you in survival mode because you always wonder what's keeping you in survival mode is probably the music, especially you listening to it while you off cannabis. You want to listen to high vibrational music, meditation music, music with good drums, music that'll actually get you in a high frequency. And the last thing I'll do during a conscious smoke session is stretch and do yoga, okay? Because this release trapped up emotional energy that the plant is trying to show you, okay? So if you got some unalignment with your chakras and you trying to get one of your chakras right, or if you just trying to get some unalignment right, bro, go stretch, go do some yoga. Instead, just chilling, doing nothing while you using cannabis. That's why you still stuck in survival mode. That's why you probably feel like you gotta quit it because you're not using it right. And like I said, your body will not lie to you. So if you feel like you gotta quit it because you're not using it right, that's probably why, because you're not using it right. All right, now ask yourself, did you do any of these practices before that you clicked on this video? If not, it's cool, but start doing these practices, okay? And maybe you won't feel so toxic using cannabis, or maybe you won't get toxic vibes, or you won't even feel like you have to quit cannabis. You feel me? Because you will actually start using cannabis what it was made to be used for. All right, now I'm about to give some reasons why you shouldn't just smoke casually, all right, or all the time, all right? Now, like I just said, if you always using a plant and you using a plant wrong, it will not work with you. It will work against you because you are not setting no attention when you're using a plant. You're just picking up the eye and you just using it all reckless. You feel me? Like imagine just waking up all the time and you just keep hitting shroom bars. You just keep popping shroom bars. Boom, boom, boom. You feel me? Just like that, all right? It's the same thing with cannabis. No, cannabis might not get you that high, but it's the same thing. Shrooms eventually won't work with you. They will work against you, okay? That's when you probably gonna start freaking out off of them. That's when you probably gonna start having bad trips, okay? It's the same thing with cannabis, okay? So make sure that you respect the plant and it will respect you. There's a reason why you shouldn't smoke casually, especially if you don't like where you at the moment, don't smoke casually because weed only amplifies you. It won't change you, it only amplifies you. So if you have a weak or if you have a weak vibration, or if you feeling down at that moment and you trying to get an escape, the weed will not do anything for you but amplify you, okay? So it's not actually an escape, okay? So stop trying to use it as an escape. And like I said, use it as an awakening. Another reason why I wouldn't recommend casual smoking, because it will numb you to your own presence and it will numb you to your own potential and you will forget how much potential you got, okay? Now this will not happen if you using cannabis the right way and you actually using it for awakening instead of just using it as an escape. If you use it casually for no reason all the time, bro, this is exactly what's gonna happen to you. So if you don't want to wake up 5 years from now and wish that you never picked up the plant and you see time just go on that fast, bro, then put the plant down, or like I said, use it for awakening and use it the right way. This is why I'm making this video, okay? Now you probably will have to take some space away from the plant, okay? So if you doing this every day, 5 woods a day, all right, you might have to chop it down to 1.5, okay? Because sometimes you don't even need a full wood, okay? Now, this is something that I do. Sometimes I don't even hit the full wood, you feel me? Like, I'll just hit half of the wood during my meditation session because I don't even want to be too high. Then, because sometimes that'll give me a headache, okay? Being too high could just also remove all your blockages, okay? You just want to get there enough, okay? You don't want to overly smoke. It's just like overly eating. You don't want to overly do it, okay? You don't want to be overly high. Okay, now I know you probably wondering, like, JJ, so when do I use cannabis? When can I pick up the Za? When can I finally smoke? All right, I recommend getting the best experiences out of smoking during these times when you're under reflection, deep reflection, or when you're doing deep creative work, or you're under deep healing, okay? So that's the perfect times to actually use cannabis. Another time I recommend using cannabis is after you're done with a long fast, before you meditate, or another way that you can connect and use cannabis is if you having a lot of spiritual downloads that day, okay? Now, if it's one of them days that you just keep seeing numbers, or you just, your intuition is strong that day, and you just keep having spiritual downloads, you just keep imagining things, you just having visions, and you're sober, okay, that's when it's time to pick up that Zao, all right? That's when it's time, when it feels like it's calling your name, and that just don't mean you calling, or you get an urge and you feel like it's calling your name. No, when you getting spiritual downloads, when you getting spiritual connections from the divine, okay, that's when you need to use cannabis. You will know, and you will know because you know when the divine is talking to you versus when your mind playing tricks on you. Don't let your mind play tricks on you. One thing you want to remember by using cannabis is that you don't have to talk too much. All right, you don't have to do too much talking. You just have to listen because the plant will guide you. Okay. And another thing that you want to remember about cannabis is that if you love doom scrolling on TikTok, if you're a type of person that just be doom scrolling on TikTok while you smoking, doom scrolling on Instagram while you smoking, you're not using weed. The weed is using you. So stop doing that because cannabis is way deeper than that. So you just don't want to use cannabis just to doom scroll and just waste time on Instagram, waste time on YouTube, watch other people, because in reality, you're not supposed to be having distractions when you're using cannabis. So use it sacred, how it's supposed to be used. All right, now I'm about to tell y'all about some history of the plant, and I'm about to give y'all some history of the plant cannabis. All right, and I'm about to tell y'all where it even stemmed from, where it come from, what it was used for back then. All right, I'm about to really be giving y'all information on this, okay? So y'all don't feel like y'all gotta quit the Za. You just gotta evolve from the Za, you feel me? You gotta evolve off the Za, you feel me? Don't use it to kill yourself, don't use it to really hurt yourself, you feel me? Because that's what it was never for, okay? So I'm about to really put y'all on because I really don't fuck with how everybody be talking about the cannabis. Like, nah, I ain't gonna say everybody, but you already know, like, a lot of people can say that it's used to make you lazy, it's used, you feel me? A lot of people got different opinions on it, but I'm just here to prove, hey, it's not opinions, it's facts, okay? So let's get into it. All right, so cannabis was used in places like India, China, and Africa to reach higher realms and for meditation. And actually, Sadhus in India actually used to use cannabis to silence the ego, quiet the ego, and get divine downloads. And the Tofian churches used to use it to get closer with God. So before that it was illegal, and before that cannabis got this bad name and not so controversial for being lazy, helping you, it's really dependent on you because it was never about cannabis. It was about you because different people in different cultures all use this for different reasons. And it was all really the same thing, healing and tapping into the divine. So that's why I say I do not recommend smoking if you don't got no direction or if you don't got no attention, because instead of you getting power, the cannabis will just take away your power if you're not setting an attention on why you're using cannabis. And even when I was doing research on cannabis for this past month, I actually learned that elders in Africa used to call weed, cannabis, healing herb, okay? That's what they used to call weed. They used to call weed the healing herb, okay? Now ask yourself, did you think these elders used to wake up and hit the za all the time, all day? No, they was doing rituals with the cannabis. So in the past, cannabis was used totally different than how it is today. They'll probably see us now and they'll probably be like, what the fuck? You feel me? So even in the past, African elders, they used to use cannabis to commune with their ancestors and enhance spiritual visions, because the more that you meditate and the more that you calm yourself down before using cannabis, you will have better spiritual visions. And I can confirm this to myself, okay? So everybody who's saying that they only use cannabis to escape reality, or if that's one of the reasons why you use cannabis, stop that, bro. Look at it from a different perspective. Use cannabis to actually gain full access of your reality, to gain all of the reality, the most reality that you can, because that's what cannabis will do for you if you allow it to. Now, when you start using cannabis the right way, you will see through pain, ego, you will see through all these really things that you think wouldn't make sense, but now it makes sense because you're looking at reality from a different way, and you also calming yourself down, and you actually doing real rituals. You doing ancient rituals that was used to heal the inner divine. And don't y'all know about the chakras that I was telling y'all about last video, or the chakras that I was telling you about? When you use cannabis the right way, you will unlock all of your chakras the right way. And I'm not saying cannabis will be the reason, but when you start using it right, you will just get downloads on what to do to unlock your chakras, okay? And one chakra that will get unlocked within itself while doing this, while practicing this, is the third eye chakra. That's one that will just get unlocked, boom, just like that. When you start doing these rituals right, you start doing these meditations right, because you will have better downloads and you will receive better information. And all right, and actually before I was gonna record, I was gonna roll up and I was gonna hit the wood, but I just wanted to record a couple videos. All right, so I am recording a lot of videos for y'all, and now I'm about to chill out, meditate, get my thoughts together. But I'm about to give y'all 5 things to remember before you use cannabis. The first thing to remember is that it's not a toy, it's a teacher. Cannabis is not a toy, it's a teacher. Remember that. The second thing you want to do the second thing you want to remember before you even touch cannabis is that the setting and the set is everything. The way that you set up your reality before that you even touch the wood, touch the cannabis is the most important thing. So make sure that you got a sage. It don't matter, bro. You don't even need a sage like this. Y'all see I got a sage. It don't have to be a sage like this, because it could be anything. You feel me? Just light up a sage. Put on some nice, what's your favorite color? Like if your favorite color purple, and if you got purple LED lights, you feel me? Make it happen, all right? Or if you connected with your root chakra, the root chakra is red, make the LED lights red, okay? You have to have some type of spiritual sense of it, okay? And I'm not saying even if you're not spiritual, or even if you claim that you're not spiritual, you still have to use cannabis in order a right way. You still have to use the cannabis a right way, because this is not even on a spiritual aspect, because like I said, everything is spiritual, okay? And the plant itself is spiritual. So if you don't believe in none of that shit and you hitting and you smoking, you shouldn't even be smoking, because you are also unaligned. All right, now I keep burning my hands trying to motherfucking light this sage, so I'm finna cut this shit real quick. Okay, and the third thing you want to remember before you use cannabis is use the cannabis to go inward, not outward, okay? That's why I tell y'all, close your eyes, meditate, listen to 42 hertz music, okay? Actually go inward, do not go outward, because like I said, you want to get the full experience of reality. And the things that you're seeing with your 2 eyes is not the full experience of reality at all, okay? So remember that. The fourth thing you want to remember before you use cannabis is cannabis amplifies who you already are, and it amplifies your vibration, okay? So if you having a bad day, terrible vibration, you ain't hit no push-ups, you ain't do nothing, and you trying to hit the cannabis, you ain't even stretch, you ain't do nothing, you ain't try to cleanse your soul, you ain't even try to give it an attempt, okay? You ain't even try to give it an attempt. You're not even trying to do better, okay? The plant itself will teach you a lesson, okay? So use cannabis the right way, all right? Don't try to use it as an escape, because you use it as an escape, it will not work, because it amplifies who you are. So you can't escape from yourself, okay? Like people used to tell you, you cannot escape certain things. That's true. And the fifth thing you want to remember is that the plant is sacred. The plant is sacred only if you treat it sacred. Only if you are sacred, okay? So don't use cannabis for ways that it shouldn't be used, okay? So this is gonna wrap up this video. It's Jay Uncut. I'm pushing these videos on y'all because I love y'all. I hope that y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope that y'all took something out this video. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to me, man. Follow my Instagram, join up the Discord to talk to like-minded people, and I'm out. I love y'all.